are you today?
It's Lio Diya. So
okay,
straight up, who am I?
It's a tough
I
question.
feel like, yeah, I feel like that's a great question to start off with, because you could take it so many different ways. Me, I feel like I've always just wanted to be a leader. You know what I mean? Like, I've always just wanted to be inspiring people. But Lio Diya is a rapper. He is a character. I feel like this just went super deep already.
yeah,
Hey, you gotta start it off like that.
Hey, man, don't, hey, yo, this real relate. This is the realest podcast around. You know the vibes.
I'll drink to that.
Yo, at the end of the day, we three Latino, you know what I mean, Hispanic people of color, man. Let's enjoy that, man. Where we at right now is a very good point in our lives, man. All this is just us kind of vibing around together, I know, Bradley, we had that discussion. When I actually, it's a good point because, granted, I grew up with Adrian my whole life, and obviously so have you. You're his brother, but I never really got in touch with you. I never really got to know who you were. So when I went out to LA, it was so interesting because it was my first time in California, first time in Los Angeles. But like my first time really getting to meet you. Besides that one time we went to what concert we went to? Y'all went to a Party Next Door concert or something. And we were in some garage or something like that, a car garage. And you remember this story?
Where was that at?
We were at me and Adrian were at the Kanye West concert. And you were in.
Oh,
yeah. That's the first time I met you.
That was at Pablo tour.
Yes, yeah.
Pablo, I remember that.
And yo, actually, we went because we were at the Kanye concert. We had to leave, and we were gonna take the train back or whatever, and North Station. And we were like, Adrian's like, yo, my brother's here. I'm like, oh shit, like I never met your brother before. Okay, but he's like, yo, he's got his car here, like he can give us a ride back. I said, that shit is free. Word, you know what I mean? So I was like, I was like, let's get it. So I get in the car, not really knowing too much about brother, really dark, saying what's up, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But right off the back, it tells you a lot more energetic, a lot more like hype up. So I like that, you know what I mean? But listen to this crazy shit, bro. Go ahead, bro. I'm gonna let you talk. I don't know if you really remember this part, but you fucking went into the car. And then there's a line. He was at P4, so he's at the bottom of the garage. Dude,
okay.
After a concert. After.
Yeah, I remember there was it was such a long line to get out, I think. And I was like, yo, I'm not trying to wait in this or whatever. And I think I just slid past everybody and went through the opposite.
There were two lanes. There was
but
one
everybody
lane
was on one lane though.
Because there were two lanes, one to go up and one to come down. And he ended up saying, fuck this. We're going to go down but up. And so he went straight up the other side, and there were actually cars trying to come down to the lower parts of the garage. But he was like, fuck it. There was one point he tried doing it a few times, and he got some cars, in the front of them, and they got aggravated. This one time he was almost at the top, and he hit it, and you almost hit a car, and the guy almost got.
No, I did not.
No, this guy almost.
No, I did not.
This guy almost tried getting out of his car, and he was heated. But he saw four of us in the car. I was like, I don't know. I must have been like 17. I wasn't gonna do anything, but still, it was hilarious. And we got out of there safely, and it was a good time. That was the first time I met Brawley, and then I got to go to LA. I got to meet you for the first time, and that was incredible. We had an hour conversation on your porch. So think about this like that. You know what I mean? It's just a conversation. You know what I mean? How did it feel growing up in Lawrence and everything? That's where you came from,
Yeah. So, who am I? My name is BRAWLY Bobadilla, Dominican, 26 years old, from Lawrence, Massachusetts.
Yeah.
You know what time it is?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, Ski.
And yeah, man, I'm just a very spiritual person. I'm an artist. I create. I like to help people create. And yeah, that's just who I am.
I love that, bro. That's a vibe for sure. How let's go a little bit into your background, before we get, because who you are, as you know, as a creative, that's such a deep question, you know what I mean?
Right.
And such we can figure out the answer to that question at the end of this, you know what I mean? So let's start from the beginning. Who is Brawley? What made you build up to that point? You know what I mean?
Yeah. How did you get to where you're at? Growing up in Lawrence,
middle school, Lawrence. What's up with you?
Yeah. So Yeah, I mean, you guys know Adrian and you know, the fam. Like, growing up in Lawrence, man, I've seen a lot of things, you know. So I always just wanted to be in a better position and see the people around me in a better position, you know. So I think that's kind of like that whole Lawrence thing, because Lawrence is just a vibe, bro. Like, people out there be vibing, um, and it's super dope. But I just always saw more, you know what I mean? Like, I always saw more for everybody around me. And yeah, no, so I mean, how early y'all want to take it? We could go back to like,
I mean, I'm not talking about like, you know, point where you were born, you know what I mean? But we could talk, but like, you know, let's talk about maybe like, you know, when did you start getting into music? When did you realize, yo, I want to be a producer, I want to
yeah,
be a writer? Like, because I know Lawrence is filled with a lot of people who are very creative and a lot of people who want to come out the trenches and everything. Like, you know, I still live in Lawrence, you know, I'm still here, you know? So salute to you for really making it out of there. I'm on the way, you know what I mean?
yeah,
So I appreciate that for sure. You know, you're a great example to young kids. You know what I mean? So that can,
appreciate
you
that.
know, you showing examples that I can make it out. You know, I can have a tough upbringing, but I could, you know, you could make it out and be successful. You know what I mean? So you know, we could start at the time where, you know, you really said like, I want to make it out of here. I got a real passion for music and I want to get after. Like, what at what age? 12, 13? You know, why you feel?
You know, like, I've always been making music my whole life, you know,
Yeah.
ever since I was a kid. Like, my dad always had instruments around the house. You know, he always had like pianos and guitars around. So naturally, like, I picked I picked it up, you know. I sang in the choir when I was back in like grade school and shit. I used to play the clarinet, you know, like,
What school you went to?
um I went to a lot of schools. So I went to like, I was never at a school for more than 2 years at a time.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So like, I was so used to shit switching up quickly,
Yep.
you know. But yeah, I mean, I went to Sacred Heart, I went to the Partham, I went to, you know, those are middle schools in Lawrence. I went to St. John's Prep for 2 years, graduated from Lawrence High, and I went to UML after that.
What? Because your dad's a musician, so did you get some inspiration from him growing up? For sure.
Yeah, so I got some inspiration from him, you know, just him always just working on his craft. You know, he was always on his Spanish shit, because my dad is primarily, I mean, he mostly speaks Spanish, you know, so he was always doing like that. And yeah, I just had a lot of big influences. Like, I was super heavy on like Joel Santana back in the day, like back in like, you know, the 2000s and shit. I was really big on like Usher. The first person I ever went to see actually was Usher, right? And Kanye West was opening for Usher in Boston at the TD Garden. Um, and I think John Legend was on the keys. Super dope.
Wow.
But yeah, just seeing shit like that growing up, you know, um, really inspired me. You know, I remember I used to have like Michael Jackson DVDs and shit, right? And like him performing live and shit. And I used to just copy everything he did. Like, you know, I used to always have that one white glove and shit. So I would have like my baseball glove from like Little League and shit. I would put that on. My grandfather's little fedora, you know, and just pretend I was like Michael and shit. Like, that's literally like, as a kid, like, that's what I did for fun. You know what I mean? Like, that, ride bikes with the gang and shit. But like, I just always had you know, thinking back, I don't know, I just love music. I've always loved music. Like, it's just been a part of me, you know. So I think naturally, as I started getting better at it, you know, I started producing for other people and shit. It was super dope. Like local artists, you know, like kids around the neighborhood and shit. But then that kind of grew, right? I started producing more. I started writing songs and hooks and stuff. And I realized as a producer, right, a lot of times I felt like the songs or the beats that I was making and the songs I was envisioning wasn't getting justice from like the artists I would send it to. So I was like, why am I not rapping on it? And then people like, as I started writing more hooks, people were like, yo, just fucking rap, bro. Like, we want to hear you rap. Like, just rap. Like, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's kind of like the people around me always push me towards it too. You know, like I think that's one of my biggest things. Like, you know, people like you guys, super inspire me to just keep going. You know what I mean? Yeah. So as like naturally, I started producing more and more. I started writing more, got into more of my own stuff, and I started going more solo. You know, I have like my first couple projects I did. They were compilation albums. So like after my production years, back with like Shaded 2000.
You like a Pierre born like a
Yeah,
like a Kanye West, like a Travis Scott. Like you started off as a producer, you know?
I started off as a producer, and then I slowly started building my artistry, like my own sound. You know, like I never really wanted to be like anybody else. Like that was one thing that drove me nuts. Like everybody wanted to like hop on a wave or like do something like even like, and I love all types of music. Like I mean, no, I don't mean to throw no shade when I say this, but like for example, like the drill wave, you know what I mean? Like the trap wave, like shit like that. You know, like I've never been quick to like hop on shit like that because I like staying on my own vibe and doing my own thing, you know, and feeling shit out. And if so long as people fuck with it, then
that's awesome.
That's what motivates me.
That's awesome, man. I feel like the vibe I'm getting from you right now, and this is 100% a compliment because a lot of people like to shit on this guy, but you remind me a lot of Russ, how he just does everything himself, and guys just like, you know, great.
I look up to Russ.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I look up to him.
Dude.
Yeah. I think he's a very smart guy. You know, like he has his head on straight. He could think clearly, and I admire that about him. You know, I read his book actually. It's a really good book. If you guys have a few to check it out. But essentially, it's about everything just being all in your head and how simple things really are, but we just make it super complicated in our heads, and that's the premise of his book. But it's just it's just a super dope book. Yeah, he definitely inspires me. So
that's great to hear.
Yeah,
he gets shit on a lot, honestly, but like the guy's a genius. Like he does everything himself. The definition of hard work. I think he released like 11 projects before he popped off, and like now he's chilling. He owns all his masters. Like he's great. Like he has different sounds and can switch it up. He can rap. He can like R&B. You know, and he's just dope. So that's great that he's one of your inspirations. I guess a follow-up question to that. I mean, you mentioned a few already, like, you know, Michael Jackson, your dad, Joel Santana. You know, who were your inspirations growing up? Like from, you know, young, like, you know,
Jay-Z, Super Black album. I remember I had the Black album on actual CD, and it was it was so dope because the actual CD itself, it was all black. You know, and I had never seen anything like that. Normally a CD, you know, it'd be like a normal CD, but yeah, I remember just having like Jay-Z actual album, like the CD, Joe Santana. I had a bunch of the Usher albums also.
See, that's the thing, brother. You didn't even realize it, but you just dated yourself right there because I only bought a few CDs, and that's right at the tail end of it.
I had like actual CDs and shit. We
now,
had like CD players.
I do remember buying 808s and Heartbreak. I will say that's one of the only CDs I really bought. And I remember my mom being like, I remember driving, you know, Toyota Corolla, you know, 96, whatever. And I remember my mom being like, you know, on the radio, and Kanye's on the radio, man, nobody likes this album. They don't understand me, blah, 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 blah. Getting so mad because 808s was like such a hated album and everything. But I remember that. I remember going to the store and buying it and everything. And it was such a sick album. I felt so. Yeah. A good segue is that how do you really push the envelope as an artist and as a musical like artist? How do you, or as just a musician or artist in general, like when sometimes you might be getting a lot of hate, how do you kind of push through that? And how do you, it's all about perspective, right? So how do you change a positive, turn a negative into a positive and push forward, really?
Yeah. To stay on the creative envelope, I think just not being afraid to try new ideas. I think when it comes to music, creating, or anything in general in life, just not being afraid to try something new, because you never know like what's on the opposite of you feeling safe, you know. It just opens up the doors for endless possibility, right? So when it comes to keeping like music fresh to me, I just try and do something different every time. You know, like if I did something before, I don't want to repeat it the same way, you know. Um, yeah, I feel like that keeps it fresh and interesting. I don't feel like I get hate. Like I know, like you mentioned, I don't feel like I get hate.
No.
I feel like energy's reciprocated, right? So like unless I hate on somebody and then like put that energy out, you know, then I don't see that, you know, because
That's right.
you know, because everything I do is just I try and stay positive. I try and be live in gratitude and abundance and that mindset. Yeah.
I was gonna say as you get bigger, you'll notice that people will hate you for no reason. You know what I mean?
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I have gotten like some people, but like I don't pay no mind because if I do, then it turns into something bigger than it should be. You know what I mean? So I'm like, it's fine. Like you don't
Touch on something that you said that kind of struck with me was like, you know, how do you push the envelope? Well, you were like always be willing to try something new, like new ideas.
Yeah.
Particularly that resonates with me, and I know for a fact it'll resonate with Jose as well because you know, being like, you know, some Latino guys, like minority men, trying to just like make it right. We've always had to put ourselves out there and push the envelope and try something new. Whether it be like, you know, academically, like always just striving to like, you know, do our best or putting ourselves out there socially. Like we've always had to do that as well. And, you know, that's how we've been able to get to where we are. And that's exactly how you've been able to get to where you are as well. And that's just dope to hear because like a lot of the times I look at people, I'm like, bro, like, how are you stuck right now? Like, what are you not doing that you can't get past where you at? And I'm like, well, not everybody thinks like myself, you know? But it's great to be surrounded by people like Jose, by people like you, because great minds just think alike. And that's how you like, you know, keep pushing the envelope, like you said.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's all factual.
He's like, you got, I so, you know what I mean? He's all good, brothers. Just all good vibes. That's all he is. He's just good vibes, good
Yeah,
times. He's just dropping
it's
good
good.
music.
It's good vibes is what you know. What can't get done. Like
Yeah,
let's get it done. You know,
Exactly.
yeah. But
and,
you know,
let's have fun while we do it. Like that's the type of vibe I'm always on. You know.
but I be hearing records like Pain, and I'm trying to. I might have to give you a call and be like, yo, what's
Yeah.
good with that though? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You say you live in positive energy, but
Mhm.
I mean that sounds like you're going through something. So what you talking a little
Yeah.
bit about that record? You know what I mean?
Yeah. So that record, it was big for me. I feel like Pain was one of those songs that I just really needed to spit and let it go. You know what I mean? Cause like it's easy to be so like yeah, I'm on my positivity shit, right? But that doesn't mean that shit doesn't like get to me either way. You know what I mean? And for that song, like, you know, I could break it down, but essentially it was just a lot of shit that was inside of me that I needed to let out. You know, and I feel like I finally let it out and it felt great. So that's the story behind that one. Like I you know, that whole project was just super fun to work on because it was just it was genuine, you know, like I wasn't hiding anything in it. You know what I mean? I was just being 100% who I am. Um,
You made a comment. You said you say you're not really popping. You just popping on the gram. Who you talking about? Who you talking to? You know what I mean? Because when you say
yeah,
shit like, hey, yo, Bill Brother's like, yo, this motherfucker done his homework. This motherfucker had done his
yeah,
homework. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
who
this
you?
dude's gonna come in here not doing our homework, huh?
Yeah, you think we coming in?
yeah. I just seen a lot of shit. So I'm like, you know, I just
You out in L.A., so tell us what's up. I mean, we're from Massachusetts. He's from Barbara's from Connecticut. You know, I've been out there for a little bit. I kind of see the how people act and all this type of stuff, the lifestyle out there, like what especially with like YouTubers and content creators and artists. You know, are you speaking of them? Are you talking to the people out there? Like, what message are you trying to spread out here?
yeah. So like with that bar specifically, it was more towards a lot of the shit that I've seen, like, that just isn't really genuine vibes. Like, there's a lot of, even back home, even around here, it doesn't matter. Like, you know, I just feel like I know somebody's intention right away. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of people that just have just the wrong idea about things. You know, like, I'm trying to think about the best way how to explain it to you guys.
I feel like you low key trying to. I feel like you low key got some shit you want to say, but you want to be very careful about how you say it because
yeah, exactly.
But say what's up. I mean, you know, I mean, say what you want to say.
Honestly, I'm just like, yo, I was just tired of fucking fake people just not
say it. Spit your shit, King.
Let it go.
Like,
spit your shit, King.
Yeah, no, like, straight up, like, you just popping on the gram. You ain't really popping, G. When I'm pulling up with bands, you ain't even flaunting, G. You know, like, I be in spots, I see shit. Like, I know when people do shit for the gram all the time, bro. Like, it's one of my pet peeves. Like, just because it's not like, at that point, it's like an ego thing. You know what I mean? It's more like a, let me do something just to get likes or whatever, versus like building a genuine vibe is something that builds a connection with other humans. You know what I mean? And yeah, nah, I just been in situations where I'm like, yo, like, you're not really that popping. Like, I know who you are.
You got like mad followers and shit, but in real life,
it's like, I know, like, I see you here, like,
be like, yo, girl.
Yeah, it's like a starstruck. Like, people get starstruck, you know, and I feel like that. It's like with influencers and shit. Like, I feel like that kind of like boosts their ego and shit. But then when you like meet them in person and shit, it's different. You know, it's not all there, and it's like, yo, like, hold on. You know?
They're as boring as a cardboard box, essentially. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just not. Yeah, it's not real vibes.
Well, because you see some of this stuff, right? And like I said, with you, like you provide value to the community. You know what I mean? You who you are in your story alone provides value to the community and to the world. You know what I mean? And you think about, you know, just in general, what you do as an artist, you know, you provide value by, you know, what you say and what you do, people listen to, you know what I mean? And people will like be like the people that like really look up to you and inspire to be like, you know what I mean? Like inspired by you. Like they look at that when you're saying like, I can, you know, just like you, I'm pretty sure you have your favorite artists that you listen to, and you, when you're sad, you listen to some certain songs and everything. They do the same thing for you, you know, when they put your stuff on, you know what I mean? So like, you provide value to the world, you know, in a sense. So some of these influencers, and you know, it doesn't matter where you're from, but you know, you talk to them, you're like, what value do you bring to the world besides a pair of double D's and a fat ass on Instagram? You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah,
you know,
you know, like my whole thing is that I want to see people, like, my main value, like what I bring to the table is, you know, I'm real big on helping people achieve their goals. You know what I mean? Like, anything that's blocking somebody's vision, it's like, you know, what is that we need to do to work through that so that you can be the best you, so that you can get everything that you want, you know? So I feel like that's the value that I bring, you know, that I try to bring.
Who's I was gonna say, who's in your top 5 right now? Artists that you listen to besides yourself?
Top five. I've been heavy on Playboy.
Don't just say that. Don't just say that for 2 reasons. Don't just say that because your brother is obsessed and I'm obsessed. You know what I mean? Say what you want to say.
Yeah, no, I've been, honestly, I haven't, like, here's the thing with me, like, I don't have much, I don't like favorite or top 5 or this, like, because I have different moods, right? So it depends on the mood that I'm in, right? If I want to listen to rap, you know, I'm gonna go listen to rap. If I want to listen to trap, I'm gonna listen to trap. You know, like, it just depends when I'm in. So I never really have like a top 5, you know, but I do have a rotation.
All right, so who's your rotation right now? Who's in your rotation right now?
Right now I have Playboy Cardi. I have A lot of house music, actually.
Really?
Yeah, I've been listening to a lot of house and techno.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, yeah.
Jose's like, huh?
Oh yeah, you're
What's
like,
techno? What's house music?
what's house
Yeah,
music?
house
Yo,
Yeah,
educate this guy real quick on the beats per minute. Let him know.
yeah. I've been heavy on that. So like when I lived in San Francisco, so when I first moved from Lawrence, I moved to the San Francisco Bay Area, and out there like there was a lot of raves and shit. Like it's techy, you know, it's like that type of vibe. There was like a lot of raves and shit. So we always used to go there, and I kind of just grew. I kind of grew more into it because I've always liked different types of genres, like Flying Lotus, you know, like Teebs, you know, some Brain Feeder type vibes, like MF Doom vibes, like all those people really inspire me. So yeah, that's like when I moved out to San Francisco and I saw that scene, it just opened my eyes. I was like, whoa, like the world's a lot bigger than just rap. I was like, there's a lot more out here. You know, I went to like a lot of jazz concerts. I was in what was that? I was in Pittsburgh. No, I was in Philly. I think I was in Philly. Yeah, I was in Philly. Like I went to a super dope, like a jazz quartet there with one of my colleagues. Actually, he brought me there. He's like, yo, I want to take you to the spot, super dope. And it was like a little hidden hole in the wall type spot. You know, you go in like go into the back, there's like a whole stage, like super dope. So just like shit like that really opened my eyes to more than just rap, you know. So yeah, that's why I don't really have like a top five, you know. I just be like whatever I'm vibing on, you know.
I feel you on that. I feel like music right now, like, and specifically like the rap umbrella, like there's so many subgenres that you can't really categorize people together and create a top 5 or a top 10 because there's so many different. There's like, you know, there's rap, but under rap you've got like emo rap, you've got trap, drill, you know, like Logic type rap, like very different. You got lyricists like Kendrick and Cole, and you know, like Joey Badass, shit like that. So like you can't really like put people into certain boxes. So I mean, a rotation, I guess, like you said, is a lot more accurate for that.
Yeah, yeah.
How would you describe your music? Like, what genre would you say your music falls under?
Yeah, I feel like my genre is it's spacey. It's definitely hip hop, trappy, hip hop trap, um, like alternative vibe. Like I feel like I'm a blend of like I'll give you like 3 people that really inspire my sound.
Okay.
The first one is Teebs. I don't know if you know him, but he's a great artist. But what I love about him is his use of like texture in music. You know, like he had coins like dropping in his songs and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like that I never heard texture like that before. So that's really big. And then flows and style and swagger, just like that ASAP vibe. I always just like, you know, that's always been like, yeah, like that. I've always rocked with that heavy.
Yo, on ASAP, have you seen the LSD music video?
Yeah, that video's dope. Super dope.
Crazy. Yeah, have you seen the Lamborghini High music video?
Yeah. That's another
Oh my
super
god.
dope.
Crazy music video too.
Yeah, those are fire.
I think I probably watched all of them 100 times, being high, and
Yeah.
and Treasure Island.
Yeah, I've seen them countless times.
Adrian be like, "Yo, I know a little something. Come here." He give me a little edible, sit me down on the couch, and be like, "I'm gonna show you a couple of these music videos real quick," and I'd be like, "God damn, these are crazy." You know what I mean? That's bananas, man. I don't know. I kind of got a bone to pick with you, man, because you seem like you got like a real thing about drill music. What's up with you seem like you don't. This is the second time I heard you say something about drill music. What's your big thing with drill music?
Nothing. What do you mean?
If I don't hear a drill record in the next like couple of months, we're gonna have issues, bro.
Yeah. You know, it's crazy. Actually, maybe I'm working on a drill record right now.
Okay.
Let's go.
Okay. That's what I like to hear, yo. You know what I mean? Like, yo, I mean, even though, drill is like, you got the drill, the UK drill, Chicago drill, you know what I mean? Like, you got the New York drill and everything with Pop Smoke and everything is bananas. But I mean, I'd like to hear what a record with you would be on with drill. I mean, because, man, drill just got me so hype, it got me so upbeat, you know what I mean? It's just got,
Right.
it's lit. But I that's not your sound, you know what I mean? And like, you see how popular it is right now. And every artist, everyone hop on the wave. You're like, nah. You're like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna stick to what it is. It's just a wave. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a wave, but it's a dope wave. And I love drill music, But like, I wanted to just see it like happen and then like do my take on it. Like, I didn't want to just go in and like just grab another drill beat and like, And right now, actually, I'm super excited about this record. Actually, it's funny.
That's a good segue. What future projects or what future singles, projects, what you working on right now is keeping you busy right now?
Yeah, so a lot of things right now. Actually, man, it's right now I'm in between like my projects, right? So I just finished up, Save the World was a big record for me this past year. That was a compilation of 2 years worth of sounds that at one point I was like, yeah, this is it right now. So I finished that up and I had some space. Like I had time to like think like, okay, like what I'm gonna do now. You know what I mean? So I got like really big on the videos, like that whole Pain video, working on some videos for my cousin Caesar. We did the shit with Infinite, which was super dope. I got like a couple projects that I'm working on also. But yeah, it's
He's got it in
dope,
the chamber, ready to unload.
Yeah,
Man.
so I got that. And then like I had a lot of people hit me up for features and stuff. So, I kind of just been getting those in the pocket,
How much for a feature?
Yo.
How much for a feature, yo? We gotta come out with a real.
Yo, why are you asking them personal questions like that?
I need to know, man.
It's a personal business arrangement, man. You can have that off hours, man. You know what I mean?
I love that vibe. Was it?
That's yo, man. How much for a feature? That's your friend. You know what I mean? If he gonna do a song for you, he gonna do a song for you. You know what I mean? But for you, he gonna charge you.
Well, I can expensify on the Real Relates Expensify.
Because that just means it goes to my credit card.
Exactly.
Do you have anything new coming up? Any sort of singles, projects, videos? What you got? What you got coming up to feed the people, bro?
So I got, I'm actually about to drop a teaser soon, but I have a music video that I'm dropping before the end of the month. I want to push it for. So that's my timeline right now, but it's a dope music video shot by my boy, Angelus. Super nasty. He actually does music also. His music's super fire. Y'all should look him up, Angelus. But he directed it. My brother and the crew filmed it. But it's a super dope video. I feel like a lot of people are really gonna fuck with it. Like it's just the visuals are just, it's a whole nother level now. Like it's just a whole nother level. And it's crazy because the other day I was watching like a few of my older videos and I was like, okay, like I see what, this kind of started. And then I look at the production quality now and I'm just like, wow, how did this even happen? Like like I just manifested that energy, that whole creation, just by sticking with it, and it's unreal. I'm just super excited to share it, but it's for Lawless. So I got a music video coming out for Lawless, single I dropped probably like 2 months ago. But
that song
I had this idea for visuals, and now's the time. So
I'm pumped for it, bro. I was actually, no bullshit, right before this shit went online, I was listening to that one because I know Adrian had did the cover. You know what I mean? He told me he edited it or he took the actual photo or something like that. And I was like, damn, so I was listening to that shit bangs. You know what I mean? So I'm pumped for that. Like I've seen some of your music videos as well, too. And, I've given you my personal critiques, you know what I mean? But I'm excited. I mean, because Adrian told me he was, I don't mean to snitch on him, you know what I mean? But he was like, yo, this next shit he got is fucking fire. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay.
I mean, look at this smile on my face right now.
Yeah, he's like,
I'm super hyped, but I'm just super grateful
yeah,
for everybody that helped me make it, you know, and for the people that rock with me, you know,
yeah.
like. But it's super dope. Like it's on some next level shit. Like it's really on some next level shit. So I'm just excited for that. You know,
That's crazy. And
put
how
that. Yeah.
how do you how do you how do you define success for you? You know what I mean? What is because success looks different for everybody. And knowing where you came up, Lawrence and everything, and moving to San Francisco and moving out to LA, and you work for one of the biggest companies in the world, but you're also an incredibly talented musician. How do you balance all that, and what's your process, and what does success really mean to you? I know I hate you like 7 questions right there, but one at a
Yeah.
time, you know.
Yeah. So
One at a time, Jose.
I'll start with what does success look like? I think success is, having an intention about something and then going in with that full intention, even if you don't know what the result's going to be, just going in with that intention and getting that energy back. I feel like that's what success is, right? Does that make sense? I don't know if y'all click with that, but
Yeah,
I don't know.
like
I don't know if
you
Brandon
can't
got it, but I got it.
No, nah, I got it. I mean, you can't just like half-ass something. You got to give it 100%, give it your all, whatever the outcome may be.
yeah, because like
you gave it your all.
Yeah, because I feel like it's easy to be like, oh, success is like, to have a lot of money, to be like good on your own and this and that, and like have a cool car and like, those stereotypical things about success. But at the end of the day, like I realized that was like one of those, like I touched on it in pain, is like I've been living life so sublime, but like there's still this pain. Like it doesn't matter. Like there could always be something like that's still there. You know what I mean? So I think at the end of the day, success, um, it really just is like what's your intention? You know what I mean? Like it's not like the superficial things that I feel like are programmed into a lot of people. You know, um, because I know people that literally like live life super simple and they're like the happiest people and they wouldn't want to change it for the world. Then there's people that are just chasing, that next promotion at a job, right? And then there's people like me that's just like, yo, so long as you're feeling good, you're enjoying your journey, let's get it. Like, let's rock with it, Yeah, no, but I feel like it's challenging though. It's very challenging to work full time for a company like Tesla, right? And then also be so involved in like my own personal endeavors,
Yeah.
I feel like what works for me is just being organized because it's easy to get caught up with a lot of shit. So I just feel like so long as like wake up, plan my day, know exactly what I'm gonna do, and just follow through with it. Just it's one step at a time is what I always tell myself because it's easy to get caught up in like the big picture.
Yeah. If you don't mind me asking, Tesla, man, Tesla is like, I mean, I love the company. Their stock price is going crazy. But what kind of things do you do for Tesla, or is that like classified? You don't have to answer if you don't want to. But
I got you. I got you, Braulio. You don't gotta answer those type of questions. That's it. You don't gotta ask those type of questions. We're here to talk about, the vibe. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I can touch on it. I don't mind touching on it.
All right,
I want to hear about this. It's Tesla.
Yeah, so I've been at Tesla. Okay, so I've been at Tesla for about 3 years, a little over 3 years, like 3.5 almost. And I'm a regional operations manager. So I manage sales, service, and delivery locations, right, for all their operations. So essentially, anything that has to do with keeping the business operating at full efficiency, capacity. My job is to help to make sure everybody can do their job. And if somebody's having an issue why they can't do their job, is like they hit me up to help them fix it. or to help them come up with a new process, right? To implement to make things more efficient. But yeah, I do that for over 30 locations from New Jersey down to North Carolina. I just recently took over some locations in the Great Lakes, and those came with their own challenges. But yeah, Cincinnati, Ohio, DC.
Dude,
Yeah, I mean,
that's crazy, bro. And you're what, 26, you said?
Yeah, 26.
You're 26 and you're managing like multiple like flagship stores of Tesla.
Yeah.
Bro, that's fucking nuts.
Yeah.
Congratulations to you, man. Like that's sick. I can't believe like that's where you're at right now. That's pretty fucking amazing, honestly.
Yeah, thank you.
Yep. You talked about some upcoming projects you got going on, some singles and everything. Like I said, it's a conversation we're having. You said one of your influences, Playboy Carti. How do you feel? And we don't have to give a review or anything, but what are some of your first impressions of the Playboy Carti album? And I know Adrian ain't here, but I want to hear really your opinion on this.
Yeah. So so when I first heard it, and for those who don't know, Adrian's my little brother. But yeah, it's so funny because I think Adrian played it first when it first came out, and I was like, he played it. And he was like skipping through all the songs, and he's like, "What the heck? Like, what is this?" And I was, "Yo, this shit kind of goes hard, bro. I want to fucking go crazy. Like, I want to go punk on this bitch. You feel me? Like." And I was like, he's like, "Oh, I don't know." And I'm over here like fucking yeah, you know, like because it was just like a new emotion, you know, like it was different. Like it wasn't like a normal trap album or like something. It was just like a new feeling, you know. And that's the music I like. I just like shit that's like its own thing. Doesn't try to be like to fit in a box. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So right up when I first heard it, I was like, okay, this is hold on, like. Yeah, let me like hold on. Let me see what's up over here. Yeah. But now that it's been out for some time, I really do fuck with a couple of the tracks on there for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody's been wanting to hear our fucking opinion on this, and I don't even want to give a full review until the deluxe comes out. But I remember getting a text from Adrian, and he was just like, I am so fucking disappointed in Playboy Carti.
Like, yeah, because I feel like a lot of people were expecting like the leaks and shit, like that type of vibe. Yep. And to be frank, I kind of wanted that too. But I like what he did here and like the creative direction he took with the whole aesthetic, you know, with the vamp life, with the whole lot of red, the album cover, the Slayer, you know, that type of vibe. Like it really just went. So I fuck with it as a piece of art. You know, and that's the thing. Art doesn't necessarily have to be liked or whatever. It has to just make you feel something. You know, like when you hear that, you just feel like, what the fuck? You know, it's not like anything that just plays and it just like passes on in the background. It's like, wait, what the fuck is this type of shit? You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, for sure. I definitely was a little disappointed. I ain't gonna lie. I was definitely a little disappointed when I first heard it. And I, like Adrian to an extent, we were like, yo, this is going to be, we knew, you know, granted, I have a lot of insiders and people that I listen to in blogs and stuff like that and stuff. I'm a big hub and I kind of listen and soak everything in like a sponge, for example. Yeah. And I could tell how the album was going. I know that Givenchy, he had some directive initiative from Givenchy and some Kanye West initiative as well. So I know he had redone the album probably 100 times. You know what I mean? And I knew
especially if people keep leaking it. You know?
Yeah, it's like the fan base is like, why is this album trash? Well, motherfucker, if you didn't fucking leak it 100 times, he could have dropped what you wanted. You know what I mean? But yeah. I get it. You know what I mean? And anyway, what I'm trying to say is I knew, but when he would drop on Instagram and stuff like that, I'd be like, okay, this is the type of direction the album is going in. It's not going in the leaks direction. And when the album dropped, was I disappointed? Yeah, a little bit. And was I shocked?
Well, why were you disappointed?
Because I wanted the leaks. I wanted the leaks.
The leaks are already out, baby. Go get them online.
I know. But I just even if it wasn't just the leaks, I just wanted the sounds that were sounding like the leaks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
more vibey, not as aggressive.
Yeah, and like
Definitely super aggressive. You know, like yeah.
It was crazy.
It's very punk.
Yeah, and like I when I was listening to it, I was like, at first I wasn't a big fan of it. Everyone hated on it, and don't get me wrong, it's not one of my top albums of all time. And I think he dropped a little too much music. 24 tracks is kind of a lot. But now sitting with it for a little bit of time, I understand what he was trying to do. Like it had leaked too many times. He wanted to bring out some fresh music. He also wanted to put out this whole vamp punk rap type of vibe to it. And he just wanted something a little different, and I respect that from him as an artist. You know what I mean? And out of the 24 tracks, I fuck with at least 12 or 13. So to me, that's a win. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, that's all I could really ask for. It's out. It is what it is, and we got the deluxe on the way. So that's when I'm gonna drop my full review on that. But overall, I'm enjoying it right now, and you know, do you feel like he should have dropped less tracks and focused more on quality versus quantity?
No, I think yeah, I think.
Should you drop a 12 track album?
Well, think of deluxe now is gonna have more.
I mean, the deluxe. I mean, think about it. If he would have dropped 12 tracks and then dropped the deluxe, he would have had like maybe the 24 perfect golden nuggets that he needed. You know what I mean? But now he's dropped 24 plus the deluxe and probably have at least another like 10 more songs out there. He's gonna have a huge project right here. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I'm thinking like maybe he should drop a little less and focus on the quality of it. You know what I mean? But he.
So you feel like the quality wasn't there for all of it? Is what you're saying?
I feel like some songs were just a little.
Exactly. Yeah.
He's like, when I go to sleep, I dream about murder, and I'm like, damn, dude. I'm like, god damn, bro. You know what I mean? Like, yo, like, are you all right? You know what I mean? I get it. I get the artistic view, and it's definitely not one of my favorite albums. It's you know, Adrian will sit here and tell you it's not better than self-titled. You know what I mean? It's not better than the first project. It ain't better than the leaks. If I don't get
the first project was just a vibe, though. But that was just like, it was different because he didn't have anything to prove. I mean, like he didn't have to keep up with some shit that he did in the past and make it like better than what it was. He was just vibing, and that's what made it so great, right? Like when you listen to Playboi Carti album, like the actual album, it's just smooth. Like the bars, there's no. Like the bars are super light, you know, like there's no real deep shit. They're like, it's fun. It's like, just throw it on, have fun, just vibe out, just, you know, let's dance a little bit, you know, like, and that's what the vibe is, right? It's not like he's not like a super lyrical rapper. Like a lot of people, like you have like Dave East type vibes and like, you know, that more New York bar for bar type vibe, right? So yeah, no, I feel like Whole Lot of Red though, like to take that vibe and then really dial it into like a certain tone. You know what I mean? Like take that same ideology, but now just give it like a theme. That's kind of how I feel about it, you know?
Yeah. I love it. You know, he got the whole slasher type of approach. Like that's so ideologic and like it's an icon in a sense. It's a symbol in a sense. And I see where he was going for, and I could just see why there's so much hate against it. And I can, like, if you were to tell me I love the album, I like it, it's in a good direction, and tell me all these things about it being a symbol and the slasher, I'd be like, I respect that opinion and I understand that. But if you were to tell me I think this album is trash and I hate it, I understand that side too. You know what I mean? I hope with the deluxe, he can kind of help both sides out and make you want to, and it doesn't matter what kind of Playboi Carti fan you are, you'll like something out of it, take something out of it. You know what I mean? Kind of what Uzi did with Eternal Take, because we're not going to sit here and say that Eternal Take, the bass version, was good. It was fucking trash. And the only thing good about it was the deluxe. and I don't give a fuck, and I will say that.
I like the
loud.
deluxe version way better, to be honest.
You
For
got,
Lil Uzi.
you got your Sersky on there. You got Myron. You got Bean with like
It just felt. You know what it felt more? It felt like he wasn't trying to make an album as much. It was more like, yo, just let the vibes come. And that's what I mean. Like, yo, just being genuine and just let the vibe come. And a lot of those records that were added on was that. You could tell it was more. Let's just have fun with it.
Exactly. And I hope Cardi does the same exact thing with his deluxe, and it's fire. But he better drop that soon. He better drop it soon because he better drop.
Super critical with Cardi.
He better drop it soon, the deluxe soon, because we got Drake around the corner, and I don't think Cardi.
Yo, I'm so hyped for that album.
I don't think Cardi wants to drop around Drake. I think he wants to have his time, have his few weeks of good sales, because when Drake drop, about to be crazy. Now, what's your opinion on Drake? And a lot of people I ask this question because a lot of people love him, hate him, or, kind of down the middle. I feel like more people love or hate him.
Drake is one of the best artists of all time.
Oh yeah,
undeniable. I mean, you can't. Numbers don't lie.
He's like wine. He just gets better with time.
Yeah. I feel like the thing about Drake though is that he's really good at taking, not necessarily taking, but when I say taking, I mean like taking, like stealing, because I know he's been accused of like stealing other people's flow and this and that. But he's really good at like bringing sounds together. Like different types of genres together.
You think about that, and I want to remind you to take a drink of your drink as well too. I'll make sure you're refreshed. But also, we get it. Drake is he can be somewhat of a culture vulture in a sense, and it's okay to say that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's got this ghostwriting allegations and everything, and for people, you understand because you're an artist. But to some people on the outside that don't understand what it means to make music and the creative process and everything, it's different. You know what I mean? Your creative process as an artist is gonna change over time, especially as you grow and you add more to your team and you have a bigger, more of a budget and everything. You're even just you in general, your shit will change over time. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I remember when Drake was dropping his first 2 mixtapes and then an album, and I'm like, where was the ghostwriting allegations then? You know what I mean? Now you want to put a dent in his armor when he's 6 albums deep and he's mass successful. You know what I mean? And like try to discredit him. You know what I mean? That's like someone discrediting you after this conversation, and you 6 albums deep and we 5 years in the future, and someone's like, well, you know what? BRAWLY don't write his own shit. That's man, rude. How fucking mad would you be? You know what I mean? How fucking.
Then who writes my shit then?
Hey, you know what? You be like, you know what? We fuck this shit. We drop them back to back. You know what I mean?
No, I'm really big. Like, I'm all for like, what the record needs, right? Like I feel like as a creator, as a producer first, right? Like that's the first thing I think about. Like, what does a record need? And just not get in the way of that, to let the record be the best that it can be, so like if I have, if I come up with a block or something and like I wanted somebody to help me out with it, like I don't feel like there's anything wrong with that, you know what I mean? But I feel like it's different because when people say ghostwriters, they feel like it's like they wrote the whole song, he just like went in and like sang it, you know what I mean? Which I feel like is probably not the case. Like he definitely had a lot to do with was actually said on the record, not just go in and just spit what somebody else said. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that's exactly what happened. You had Quentin Miller, all these people coming in, blah blah blah, and it's not like that. As you know, as a creative, you might have a hook or something like that. Someone writes for you, but it's all about how you say it and how you bring it in and how you bring it to light and everything and how you make of it. I mean, Quentin, they didn't, or anyone in just general, they didn't write him the whole song. He's not an R&B, guy where he's literally like Beyonce or Rihanna taking a whole song from someone else and everything. You know what I mean? But it's different. He's doing it himself, and he's having help along the way. I'm not denying that, but I'm saying like to sit here and just discredit him for everything he's done is crazy. And that's what I'm saying for you as you get older and as you become more successful and as you become bigger as an artist, just be aware of these type of things. And I'm pretty sure you are. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And for just FYI, are you? Is it just you on your team? Do you have anyone else on your team? How is it just you? Like, how do you do everything?
Yeah, so right now I'm working on really building like a very solid platform. I'm putting the final pieces on that together right now. So I don't want to speak too much on it, but it's really good. Essentially, like it's gonna allow for the most creation from everybody involved. You know, it's gonna allow everybody to have complete freedom with their ideas and to have the resources that they need right there. Like, you know, when it comes to making music, fashion, videos, blogs, whatever it is, you know, yeah, I have a business plan that I've been presenting to some very talented people, and it's coming along nicely. So yeah, more to come there. You know, I don't want to give too much away, but yeah.
So I guess some of my final questions would be this is kind of this is a personal question, you know what I mean? What's your take on Lil Baby?
Hello, baby.
And
I
before
wasn't
you
expecting the question.
before you kind of like answer this question, it's a personal question, you know what I mean? It's really, I don't give a fuck about what really anyone else thinks about this, but Lil Baby, in my opinion, is Artist of the Year for 2020. You know what I mean? And do you listen? The question: do you listen to Lil Baby and Lil Baby records, anything like that? You listen to Lil Baby?
Yeah, Lil Baby goes hard.
How do you feel about Lil Baby getting snubbed from Meg Thee Stallion for Artist of the Year? How do you feel about that?
Yeah.
What's your opinion on that?
Yeah, you know, I feel like award shows it's just somebody's take on it. You know what I mean? Because what's my favorite song might not be somebody else, the next person's favorite song. So I feel like getting caught up with like, oh, who won best artist, this, that, or this I think is more how many people did you affect at the end of the day? How many lives did you touch? You know, how many souls did you connect with? You know, I feel like that's more important than like getting snubbed by somebody. You know what I mean? But nah, Lil Baby goes hard, bro. Like I can't. Yeah, I don't know how that happened.
I love Meg Thee. I love man, hold on.
I'm trying to be polite and shit, but like honestly, I don't know how that happened.
He's like, man, fuck Meg Thee Stallion, man, for some bullshit. You know what I mean? But like, honestly, I love Meg Thee Stallion. She's a hard worker, independent woman everywhere.
She's also bad. She's pretty bad.
She's bad as fuck. I honestly mad respects to her and everything. I get it.
Right.
But Lil Baby, just another animal, and I feel kind of disrespected. You know what I mean? But overall, and yo, shout out to Gunna as well too. Shout out to YSL.
Yo, Gunna's one of my favorite artists. Yo,
yeah, yo, shout out Gunna, man.
I love Gunna.
You know what I mean? Sun came out, like, come on, man. The Gunna won a fucking deluxe. Like, man, god damn.
That was fire. That was fire.
You know what I mean? So shout out to them, YSL, Young Thug, and everybody. Like, that's just crazy to me. But overall, that's why I just wanted to hear your opinion on that. I'm glad I'm not crazy.
Honestly, you know, like I said, like award shows, like I get it, you know, but at the end of the day, real knows real, you know, real relate.
Yeah, exactly. You know? Real relate. Double R on the back, you know what I mean?
So for him to not get that award, like okay, but we all know who really should have had it. It's like Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time. Like, you know that.
That was Kanye. He's like, yo, I'm gonna let Taylor. I'm gonna let you finish, but Beyonce had one of the, and it was true. He ain't speaking lies. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. You know.
You know what I mean?
So I feel like not letting that be like the final determining factor if a winner and a champion. Like why? That's one thing with award shows. Why can't everybody win? You know, like because everybody's changing people's lives, putting out their dope sounds and this and that, right? So why does it have to be like, you know,
because it's a capitalist society, probably.
Yeah.
It's a capitalist
now we're getting into like a deeper issue here.
No. I guess to kind of like slowly kind of wrap this up very soonly. Do you have any advice for anyone coming up? Any sort of, whether you're an artist, whether you paint, whether you draw, whether you're a musician, artist, do you have any advice for anybody?
Just fucking do that shit, bro. Just fucking go in and have fun and do it, and just enjoy it. And don't even think about the end. Just do it, and then see what you have after, and then go from there. You know, because I feel like it's so easy as a creator to get caught up in like little things, or think about, oh, what is somebody gonna think about this or whatever. But it's like, yo, fucking just create, bro, and just vibe out.
I love that.
Yeah, that's
It's like Nike. Just do it.
Just do it. Just do it. You know, straight up.
All shouts to Nike. Don't sue us.
Yeah, don't sue.
Yeah. But no, and that's a big thing why I started Real Relate too, because I know growing up, I've always had that vision. I've always had that idea. I always want to start a company and always wanted to start doing something. And honestly, if there was no COVID, it'd be me and you right now face to face. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We'd be doing this for real. You know what I mean? So, and granted, this is a real one, but you know what I mean? But I'm excited. You know what I mean? Well, this is going to be incredible. And honestly, just do it. If you're out there as a creative, and anything you see from this, if you take anything from this podcast or anything you watch and you learn from us, regardless as we go forward, man, just fucking do it. You know what I mean? There's gonna be a lot of people that tell you no, or that say you're not ready yet.
I've heard a lot of things. Just go.
He's heard it. Just do it. Just fucking do it, man. And no matter what happens, it's all about progression. You might start off with 0 views, 1 view, 1 like, as you, whatever the fuck you metric, you know, you determine your success by. As you go and as you progress through it, you'll get better and better and better and better, and you're gonna look back on it and be like, damn, I'm really fucking glad I started, because the only regret I have about Real Relate is I didn't start sooner. You know what I mean? So that's really it, man. But I appreciate that for sure, man. The whole vision we had and everything.
And what's like your big goal with Real Relate? Like what's
the motherfucker started to interview me now. Yeah,
because I'm curious. Like you know, like I see it's something super dope, and that you kind of have brewing in your head. I just want to kind of pick your brain a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. I can open up a little bit. I mean, in a sense, Real Relate is actually funny because your brother came up with the name Real Relate.
Yeah.
We were all in like Barbara was there. And we all had like a little room and everything, and we all on Zoom and everything. We're actually at Barbara's apartment, and we're thinking about names and everything. And then your brother just comes out of nowhere and goes, he types it in and he goes, "What about Real Relate?" And I love it because it has that double R. Like you can say double R.
Yeah,
it's
like
got
double
the rolling.
Yeah.
But he also thought about it, he's like, it just feels right, because I feel like, you know, what type of person you are. He's speaking to me. He said, you know, you're a really real person, real genuine person, and you're just a real ass person. You're just a real dude, and I really respect that a lot. And he goes, I feel like a lot of people can relate to that sense, you know. And honestly, it doesn't have to be super crazy. You look at Apple. I'm pretty sure when they named Apple, they were probably like, a fucking fruit. What are you, crazy? You know what I mean? And it took off. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. What the real symbolism behind it is that we're just a bunch of real relatable dudes that fuck with one another, and we have love for another. We just want to put everyone on and just be happy and just hear people's story. And that's all it is. I've always looked at these YouTubers and these people and shit like that growing up as a consumer, and I've always wanted to be like, how do I provide value now that I'm older and I can? How can I provide value to the kids that I know that are eating cereal at home with their moms and their dads, or just their moms or just their dads? And I'd be like, yo, you can listen to this, and one day you can become someone that can provide value to the world, you know what I mean? And change the world in a sense, you know what I mean? And start from absolutely nothing. Because if I can fucking do it, literally, and I mean this, if I can do it, literally anyone can do it. That's all it is.
And I'm really appreciative that you guys hit me up to do this interview. And this like my first interview like that, which is why I feel like I was a bit awkward, but it's all good.
Dude, it was a pleasure, man. You know how hyped you were that you actually said yeah, and like we're the first guests to like, you know, have on. Like it was sick. You know, I appreciate it.
This is gonna go down in history. So you know, just we'll look back at it like 5 years from now, and like somebody's gonna cut this scene right now. Like he said it.
Yeah.